channel Imperial Order. My name is Hydro, and today we're going to be covering the Adventurer Eldlich deck profile. This deck profile was done by a man named Louis. He's one of the contenders in our current tournament happening in our Discord server, and that Discord server will be linked in the description below, as well as my channel About Us page. If you have any questions about this deck, my Discord and Louis' will be in the description below. Without further ado, let's get started. So for this Eldlich profile, he runs 2 Eldlich the Golden Lord. I've seen some people run 3, but I honestly do agree with him that you really only need 2. It can honestly be a brick sometimes, and I mean, you're running 3 Elixir of Scarlet, and so that's basically your search for Eldlich. You're almost always guaranteed to get an Eldlich. Like, there's really no need for 3 because you basically have 5 in the deck. As far as the Adventurer, we run 3 Water Enchantress of the Temple. If you don't know what the Adventurers do, then you really need to learn this combo because it's being played in multiple decks. The Water Enchantress basically adds your Rite of Aramasir. The Aramasir summons a token, as well as places your continuous spell, the Fateful Adventure. Fateful Adventure, when you summon a monster, it will add you the Griffin. And, the Fateful Adventure, when you activate its effect, you can add the Griffin. And then when you summon the Griffin by using the Griffin's effect, you can add the Draco back, which is this card allows you to send 1 card from the field to the hand, and this card is your negate. So it's basically, the Adventurer cards is a free Omni negate, as well as a card that can send 1 card on the field from your opponent's field to the hand. So the Adventurer cards are really good. It helps with the Eldlich consistency a lot. It was already a consistent deck before, but this just adds another layer that you can play onto it, as well as it adds layers to multiple other different decks. 3 Cursed Eldland. This is another search. You can pay 800 life points, add 1 Eldlich monster, or 1 Golden Land spell or trap. Also, if it's sent from the spell or trap card to the graveyard, you can send 1 Eldlich monster or 1 Golden Land spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard. Now this is good, because not only do you get a search off of paying 800 life points, but you also get the send to the graveyard, where you can send either your Eldlich and get his graveyard effect, or you can send any of your other Eldlich spell or traps, because they all have grave effects. So, I mean, it's a really good card, and you basically get 2, maybe even 3 searches off of it, even when you destroy it, with your own Eldlich ability. So it's a very good card. 3 Pot of Extravagance. We run the 3 of the Elder Entity, the 2 of the Dreadnought, and a couple other things that you can just kind of get rid of based on the duel. And your Extravagance is just going to help you with that extra search and the extra consistency. You're basically playing a 37 card deck. You're a Conquistador. If you don't know what the Eldritch spell and trap cards do, this one, if it's activated and you have an Eldritch, you destroy 1 face-up card on the field. And your other one is your Hakera of the Golden Land. I believe Hakera, I think that's how you say it. You special summon it, and you can banish a card from either graveyard. You've got your Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. This one is your search. It special summons, the Eldritch card. And all of these 3 have graveyard effects to banish them to set the other one. So if you have a Golden Land one, you set the Elixir. If you have the Elixir, you set the Golden Lands. 2 Ice Dragon Prisons. This is really, really good, especially in this current format, because lots of decks run cards that have the same attributes, or the same types, sorry. So you banish 1 card from both players' fields that have the same attribute as the monster that you targeted in your opponent's graveyard. So this is going to be good for, your dark decks like Phantom Knight. It's going to be good for your Sword Soul decks that are all worm types. There's multiple decks that this can be run in, but 3 can be kind of a brick, so because you don't want to draw into all hand traps and not get any Eldritch. So 2 is a nice good combo, or a good number. 2-Dimensional Barrier. This is really good against the Sword Soul matchup if you declare Synchro. It's good against it's just good against multiple things, honestly. You can target the XYZs if you want to stop an XYZ combo deck, maybe Phantom Knights. Really depends on what you're doing, but this is a card that you can also side out if you don't feel it's necessary. as well as your Ice Dragon Prisons. These 4 cards are very good cards to side out. 3 Dogmatica Punishments. We run this for our Elder Entity target, so not only do we get to destroy 1 card with the punishment, you also get to destroy a 2nd card when you send Elder Entity to the graveyard. I run a similar technique in my Necros deck profile. If you haven't seen that already, that will also be linked at the end of this video. I think it'll be pinned onto the screen, so just check that out too. 2 Skill Drain, really good card. 3 can be a brick, just like the Ice Dragon, just like the Dimensional Barrier. Just run 2. It doesn't affect this deck a lot because Eldlich does not have a on the field ability. Its ability is on the grave, which means that the Skill Drain does not hinder you at all. It only hinders your opponent, so it's a very good card to run in this deck. 3 Solemn Strikes, for obvious reasons, really good trap, and 3 Solemn Judgments. That is it for the main deck. Let's go on to the extra deck. 1 Constellar Pleiades, 2 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Maxes. You can run an OTK in this deck because you have 2 Eldlich, you make the Dreadnought, you burn for 2,000, you can go into your Super Dreadnought, and he gains like I think 8,000 attack or 6,000, I don't even know, honestly, yeah, it's just, you can OTK with this deck. that's the type of potential this deck has. After that, you can also go into your Zeus if you attack with an XYZ. So the Zeus is very good. If you don't know what it does, detach a material from it. It destroys all the cards on the field. It's just so good. 1 Link Spider. This is for your token that gets summoned from the right of Aramasir. Your Nightmare Cerberus. This pops a monster. 1 Phoenix. This pops a spell or trap. Your Lina, this targets another light monster. This is really good for the Eldlich mirror match because you can summon your opponent's Eldlich from the graveyard, which prevents them from using its graveyard effect. 1 Nightmare Unicorn, you summon it, and you can shuffle a card back on the field by discarding. Really good card. Access Code Talker, again for the OTKs. Access Code is really rarely going to come up in this deck, but if you're able to get it out, it's a good card. 3 Nates for your Dogmatica punishment. We run 3 of these. It's also a good target. You can send 1 of them off with your Extravagance, maybe 1 or 2, but you run 3 of these, so you really don't want to send all 3 or even 2. You really want to only send 1. And lastly, your Psi Framelord Omega. The reason you run this is if you send this to the graveyard with your Dogmatica punishment, then you can shuffle 1 card that's in your graveyard back into the deck, or if it's an extra deck monster, back into the extra deck. So this gets you your, let's say you need an Eldlich in the deck for some reason, I don't know why you would do that, but if you did, you can use this, send this back to the extra deck, as well as the Eldlich back into the deck, and that goes for any card. The side deck, 3 Winged Dragon of Ra. This is basically a Kaiju, except it requires 3 monsters. Same thing with the Lava Golem, basically a Kaiju, but it requires 2 monsters. Your Skill Drain, activate by... this is your 3rd Skill Drain, we already talked about this. 2 Heavy Storm Dusters. 3 Evenly Matched. And 3 there can be only 1. That is the end of this deck profile, guys. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, if you have any questions, my Discord will be linked in the description below. And if you join the Discord server, Imperial Order, you can talk to Louis, the person who actually made this deck, and get his opinions and thoughts about why he does certain things in this list. I'm sure there's a lot more that he could tell you that I can't, because like I said, this is not my list. But the Discord will be linked in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video.